Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Marie Holiday. Today is Saturday, July 25th, 2020. Before we get started into this session of my Facebook Marketplace Success Selling Tips, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button before we start. Just a real brief recap on last Saturday, and I always encourage my audience to check out my videos. But just a brief overview of what I talked about last Saturday, July 18th, is I talked about the differences between active income, passive income, and a combination of both. So if you want to get more information about that, check out my video. It's a lot of valuable information. And with that being said, we are now going to switch gears, and I'm going to talk about my success selling tips on Facebook Marketplace local sale. As the audience is aware, I've been selling on Facebook Marketplace local sale since December of 2019. That's another source of stream of income for me. And how I got into that is December 2019, I was cleaning my house, seen a lot of furniture, lamps, decor, my Nutcracker collection, stuff that I know I'm not going to want or need anymore. So I said, well, let me just try this Facebook Marketplace local sale. Heard a lot of folks talking about it, and sure, I tried it out, posted some of my furniture and a lot of household decor on Facebook Marketplace. And within that first, that same weekend, I actually made money, made nice little chunk of money, in a reasonable time frame. I have literally sold all the furniture that I don't want or decor in my house since then. So once I accomplished that goal, probably within a week or two, I say, hey, I stumbled upon something. Let me continue this. So I start replenishing my inventory, and I've been selling ever since. I stumbled upon a supplier, Wish, W-I-S-H. Wish is a online marketplace. They sell all types of inventory from A to Z. So when I stumble upon that particular supplier, they're based out of San Francisco. They have they have facilities all over the country in terms of online marketplace inventory. Not marketing any potential supplier. This is just a particular supplier I stumble upon to replenish my inventory. So I say that to say that selling tip number one, you gotta find a supplier. It don't have to be Wish, but that's just one of the suppliers I use to replenish my inventory. I use other suppliers, but Wish is one of my main suppliers that I use to replenish my inventory. I focus on 5 major items that I list on my Facebook Marketplace local sale. I sell other things, but my primary items that I sell is my Angel perfume. I sell sunglasses. I sell video games. I sell 2 different versions of video games, and I sell Nutcrackers. So let me sip my coffee. So I say all of that to say that my number one selling tip that works for me, you must decide on who your primary supplier will be to purchase your main inventory. On an ongoing basis, I'm always purchasing my main inventory in bulk. That's my primary focus of sale, even though I do sell other things. But again, I'm going to stress this. Selling tip number one, as a seller, you must decide on who your primary supplier would be to purchase your inventory on an ongoing basis. You don't want your supplies to run too long. Selling tip number 2, you must determine by trial and error what products sell on a consistent basis in your zip code. So I'm going to say that again. You must determine as a seller by trial and error what specific inventory sells on a consistent basis in your zip code. And since I've been doing this, I discovered my main 5 inventories sell on a consistent basis in my zip code. One of the things that I did to determine what sells in my zip code, and I still do this today, I take a screenshot picture of the product picture from the supplier before I purchase the item, and I will list it on my Facebook Marketplace listing. I deliberately do that. Key thing, I haven't bought it yet, but I discovered through trial and error that these are some of the things that sell in my area by taking a picture, a product picture of the inventory, a product picture of the item from the supplier, and I will post it on my listing. So that's my selling tip number 3. I'm gonna repeat that. What I discovered that works for me, I would take a picture of the item from the product item from the supplier on their website, and I will post it on my listing, and just to determine to see how many views I get, how many requests that I may get for that item. So that's a very important selling tip, because you can get a feel of what's going to sell or what not's going to sell before you invest your money. And that's something I continuously do right now. Selling tip number 4, for all of your listings, get in the habit of checking your Facebook Marketplace insights of the listing views within the past 7 days, 14 days, in the past 30 days. That's a very important selling tip number 4, so you can determine on how many people are checking out that particular item every 7 days, every 14 days, and every 30 days. So you're basically tracking the analytics behind the item, and you need to know that. That's very important information. Because Facebook Marketplace tracks listing views via the insights. Other information that Facebook Marketplace Insight tracks, they track not just the listing views, they track the listing save, that a potential buyer may save a certain listing, they may save a certain listing from your Facebook Marketplace listing. They're going to also track if that potential buyer shared this information with anybody. So all of those important analytics are very important information to know that ties into selling tip number 4. You need to know the analytics behind every item that you list on Facebook Marketplace. So when I see that the Facebook Marketplace Insight numbers are rising, the listing views, the listing saved, the listing shared, when I see a rise in the analytics, this helps me to determine on whether or not I want to invest money on purchasing this item. So when I see the analytics rising, selling tip number 5, that's very important information to let me know on whether or not I want to go ahead and move forward and purchase this particular item from my supplier. So all of this is very, very important information. Selling tip number 6, very important selling tip number 6, additional information on listing listing an item. I will take a screenshot of the item the product item from the supplier website, Wish website, and I will upload that on my listing. In addition, I will take the actual picture of the item. So I use a mixture of pictures on my listing when I actually get to that point of posting the item. So when I see through analytics, okay, this is a good product to buy, I already took pictures from the website of the supplier, and then later on, when I see that this is a go, I'm going to add more pictures of the actual item and the product item, and I'm going to upload that on my listing, because I believe that you can do a total of 10 variations of pictures on your listing. And that's a very important selling tip number 6 that worked for me on Facebook Marketplace local sales. So like I said, basically you're uploading a mixture of the pictures from the actual product and the screenshot pictures from the website, so that potential can have a very good view of all different variations of pictures about that particular item. And to give you an example, you all know I sell variations of nutcrackers. Here's an actual nutcracker, different version of nutcracker that I sell on Facebook Marketplace. So I sell them in lots. And I will take an actual picture of this particular nutcracker, and I will also go on Wish website to take the product picture from the website. And when I upload all these pictures on my listing, the potential buyer can see that this is a very neat looking nutcracker. It's a wooden nutcracker. It's a drummer nutcracker. It has the little drum to play the drum. You can see this, a very good picture, a very neat looking type picture of this nutcracker. I'm getting ready to sell heavy in the month of October, November, and December, all the way up to January, nutcracker lots that I specialize in. Last year I had a woman that drove 2 hours to buy one of my nutcrackers. And as time goes on, I'm going to get into the habit of sharing with the audience my different inventory that I sell on Facebook Marketplace. I don't mind sharing these selling tips. This is a big old world, and it's enough business for everybody. It kind of bothers me when people out there who are selling whatever they sell on Facebook Marketplace local sale, and I have conversations with some of these people, and they say, oh, I ain't gonna tell what my selling tips are. I say, wait a minute, there's a big old world out there. There's enough business for everybody. I don't mind sharing my information that works for me. So up to this point, I have shared with the audience about 6 selling tips that I use that work for me. You can use this information or not, but I'm just letting you know what works for me to bring me in an additional stream of income on a consistent basis. Do I make a whole lot of money? No. Do I make consistent money that's significant enough to help me meet my financial goal? Yes. I'm suspicious of people when they get on Facebook, when they get on YouTube, talking about I made $10,000 in 1 month. That's a lie. I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of what works for me on a consistent basis. I do this as a hobby, and I'm going to keep it in hobby mode. I'm making consistent income where I can throw extra money in my savings, or I can use that money to replenish my inventory, or I can use some of that money to accelerate my mortgage. And I'm willing to share this information. So with that being said, this is going to set the stage for next segment. My next segment is I'm going to talk about my selling tips for Facebook Marketplace Part 2. I didn't want to throw too much in on Part 1. So my next segment, I'm going to talk about my success selling tips for Facebook Marketplace Part 2. And just to give you a glimpse, because I use the cliffhanger approach, to give you a glimpse of what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about in detail what form of payment I accept. I'm going to talk about the importance of setting the price and sticking with it. Well, setting your price for your inventory. I'm going to talk about the importance of the description for your product. I'm going to talk about the importance of setting up boundaries as a seller, because the buyer is not always right. I'm going to talk about the importance of location that you decide to select. And I'm going to talk about the importance of time. What time that you as a seller going to set to meet with the potential buyer. Because again, all of this is very important to tie into your success on selling on Facebook Marketplace. Because I'm gonna tell the audience and let the audience know I am not running all the way around the world to trying to sell my stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I have boundaries. I have limitations. And my goal is not to lowball myself. Take pride in what you do. You ain't got to shortchange yourself if this is direction you want to go to make Facebook Marketplace local sale as one of your streams of income. This is just one of my streams of income, and it's a hobby. So I will give the audience insight on my Facebook Marketplace Success Local Sales Part 2. I will go more in detail about those topics. This is very invaluable information. I'm just going to give it to you bottom line. So with that being said, before I close, make sure you hit that subscriber button. Make sure you hit that notification button. We're going to continue on with this topic next Saturday. Simplify. Have a great weekend. And I hope you all got something out of this information. Take care.